This weekend of gameplay in VCT Americas might have given me the biggest roller coaster of emotions I've ever experienced watching Valorant. With complete blowouts, legends fading, and even more popping off from our rookies, the road to Champions Paris is getting very interesting. And with Aspas and MIBR being a huge talking point from this weekend, you're definitely going to want to watch this one the whole way through to see what happened in that last match of the weekend. So let's get straight into it. The weekend would open with the battle of the Gs and the 2s. G2 versus 2G would be our first clash of the two Ascension teams this year, and it would be pretty cool to see. 2G looked significantly better last week against EG than they did earlier in the year, now with the addition of Spike. On the other side, G2 were playing a bit handicapped, with Leaf still being out and Baby Bay in his place. This series would open on Ascent, and we'd be seeing the same comps we saw last week from both sides. This map would open with 2G winning the pistol, but in classic G2 fashion, they'd buy 5 stingers and win the second round.
The rotation's fast.
One for John. All right. Well, G2 ecos. All right, 1v3 for LZ, bro. You have a stinger. Yeah. Dude, I mean, it's a G2 eco, bro. What do you do? Every single time they win. The rest of the half would be very back and forth, with the teams exchanging blows, ending the half at 6-6. G2 would clean up once they got into their defense half, though, going on to take the map at 13-8. The second map, Haven, would be the first time we saw it from either team this split, but both sides would be playing the same comps we saw from them previously, with G2 picking their Fade Viper comp that they debuted at Toronto, while 2G would be picking the ISO Yoru comp that's become so prevalent in the meta over the past year. This map would open pretty clean for G2, with them opening with the 4-1 lead, eventually extending that to an 8-4 lead on the half. And similarly to the first map, G2 would breeze through the second half, taking the map at 13-5, giving them the series at 2-0, and their first win of the split, while leaving 2G at 0-2 so far. But who cares? Because Baby Bay has his name in game now! Oh my gosh, he's so back! The second series of the opening day is one I'm not really excited to talk about. Sentinels versus FURIA. FURIA were coming into this game once again without their real roster or coaches in the venue, so it would already be a difficult game. But on the other side of the stage, Sentinels had won their first match of the split, and their coach was going into interviews talking like this still.
Let's lay it on me, brother. What the hell was that?
Some shit for sure. I mean, we need to be way better, and I am, you know, silver lining, resilience, sure. And I think we woke up at the end there, but can't be sleeping.
So there were completely different vibes going on from both teams going into this match. One was chasing greatness, and the other wasn't even at the starting line yet. But onto the series, this one would open on Sunset, a map that has been historically great for Sentinels, and we'd see a bit of a comp change from them going into this map. The overall composition would be the same, but Zelsis and John QT would switch roles, with John going back onto Cypher and Zelsis going on to Breach. Fury would open this map getting the pistol and the anti-eco, but that was about where the fun stopped for them.
Now Paula, who's playing forward, who wants to be able to find an early kill so it can just be an honest 4-on-4, denied that. Flashed, overwhelming with util.
To the Viper's pit, Bang is starting to encroach upon. Prowler leads the way, Bang gets in there.
What?
What? Has Arango deal with the threat for him? Now,
No, please, no,
Are Sentinels the Sansa boys now, bro? A 10-round streak for Sentinels would lead them to a 10-2 half, and although Furia would pick up an eco win in the second half, Sen would close the map at 13-4. And somehow, the second map, Icebox, wouldn't be any better. This map would show us comp changes from both sides, with Sentinels moving away from the double smokes comp and instead picking a double Senti comp with John QT on Sage, while Furia would pick Waylay as their duelist alongside a double smokes comp with Omen and Viper. Opening this map, Zelsis would get a pretty clean clutch to get Sentinels the pistol. One. Ooh! And this clutch would open the best 30 minutes of Valorant anyone will ever see in their lifetime.
please is ready for this.
Monka!
And yep, has a timing but can't quite convert.
2v3, John.
Brought back to life, John,
and
the bringer
Zekin.
of life. So,
Stop it! Cut the stream! They have families!
Furia players are dangerously low and narrate. Deals with a Rango.
So's up in nest. I don't think Zekin heard that.
Oh god, he just deals with heat. Adverso for 3 in the round. He's looking for more. It's not to be! A historic victory. For all the wrong reasons, perhaps.
Map 2. Dude, he didn't even get enough. Bro, they didn't get enough rounds to buy. They didn't have enough rounds to buy, bro. You have 2, 3, and 13 players. You didn't even get to Pi. I'm done. All right, I'm ending stream. A 13-0 win for Sentinels would give them the series at 2-0. Definitely giving Kaplan and Sentinels the clean win they were looking for, and it would be the first 13-0 since 2023, where Loud took down Evil Geniuses. Wait, does this mean Fury is winning champs? The second day of the weekend would have VCT Americas returning to the basement, where we'd see 100 Thieves versus Crew as the first matchup. This is a matchup that hasn't gone too well for 100 T in the past, with Crew winning the past 3 times they faced off. But with 100 Thieves' convincing win over NRG in week 1, this could be the one to break the streak. Crew were looking pretty solid in their own right though. After a slow start in week 1 against MIBR, Crew took very comfortable wins on maps 2 and 3 to take the series, so this one could really go either way. This series would open on Corrode, a map that we saw from Crew in week 1, but not from the Thieves, and they'd come in with a pretty cool comp. Shockingly, 100 Thieves would be playing a single smokes comp, deviating from what is seen as the meta on this map, and would instead play a double scan composition, taking advantage of the paper-thin walls on the map. On top of that, they'd be playing Asuna on Yoru and Krausel's on Chamber, making for a pretty unique looking comp. On the side of Crew, they'd be playing the same comp we saw from them in week 1, with the double smokes and Vice. This map would open with Crew taking the pistol and anti-eco, but 2 clean mid-fights and a banger B-hold from EU would net 100 Thieves 3 rounds in a row.
Is waiting around the corner and Kess just runs it down.
EU! Hello! I love this guy. Crew would pick up 2 more rounds after this, but 100 T would take over the rest of the map. 10 rounds in a row would give 100 Thieves its opening map at 13-4 and a 6 start to this series. The second map, Bind, would show us the same comp we saw from 100 T in week 1 with their double duelist and solo fade comp, while Crew would come in with something a bit strange. The comp overall was fine, but we'd be seeing Kezna on Sky, something we haven't seen in quite a while. Crew would open this map once again taking the pistol, this time off the back of some absurd shots from their rookie Dante. Oh! Oh my gosh! What did Dante just do? 100 T will once again go on to take 3 rounds in a row, and they'd pull away to take an 8-4 lead. The second half wouldn't be as clean as in the first map, but the Thieves would still only allow Crew a single round in the second half, giving 100 T the series at 2-0 and a very clean win to go 2-0 in their group. The second series of the second day was NRG versus Loud. NRG were looking for redemption after their embarrassing week 1 loss to 100 Thieves, while Loud were looking to keep up the momentum from their close win over Leviatán. This series would open on Haven, where we'd be seeing NRG playing a double smokes comp with Viper Omen, while Loud would be picking the more standard double initiator comp with Breach Sova. This map would open with Loud on defense, taking the pistol and anti-eco, eventually going up 3-1. But a huge 4K from Psalm would give NRG a thrifty win and start a big streak of rounds for the NA squad, and they'd be getting their vibes up with this streak.
And you want to be playing away from your team? Here, Som finds an entry into B and calls for his team to join him. 3 great shots.
Yeah, that's a monstrous round from Som.
And trading off each other has been strong.
Oh my god, he sucks.
Loud would pick up a 4th round in round 12 though, and this time, Verdio would be the one getting his team's vibes up going into the second half.
2 nice ones, but just not able to hold on in awkward positions here.
Still, like you said, Josh, the damage potentially already done with how NRG been looking.
Beautiful. 4 is all we fucking need, bro. Fuck these cringe ass mother.
Unfortunately for him, vibes wouldn't be enough, with NRG taking a flawless second half to close the map at 13-4.
Hey, but NorFF gives the info, and
Oh.
there's a stun.
What? It's over, bro! Where's Bomb even planted, man? I mean, wow. The second map, Corrode, would be the first time we saw the new map from either side, and we'd get an interesting pick from the side of NRG. Starting with Loud though, they'd be playing a comp that seemed pretty standard for this map now, with Omen, Viper, Fade, Neon, and Vice, but NRG were taking a different approach. They'd still be playing Omen Viper, but would be picking a double initiator comp with Sova and KO, as well as picking Waylay as their duelist. Loud will pick up another pistol to open this map, but NRG were still riding the highs of their domination on map 1.
Continuation of the 100.
Nice predictable angles.
I think I'm the Terminator.
More joy and whimsy in the games. You know, talking crap on their opponents as well.
Yep.
You know, if this is what's needed.
Loud would pick up a clean win in round 6, but NRG would immediately shut them down with a 2v5 win in round 7.
Alone and isolated, the off angle. We'll see if he gets some value. Yeah, hello! The kills are flying forwards here for NRG. The dart misses to the side here, not anticipating, he's missed it!
And Brock will be picking up another insane round in round 9.
But again, Hev on a swivel, the rest of his team trying to have his back straight through that smoke. It was watchful, but Brock still just overwhelmed, perseveres, a glide forwards. It's inside Brock! It's going to be going a bit too far potentially, yeah, just touches the corner with that dart and a peek. Brock is feeling himself. Hit
into an A lurk.
I'm coming up. Brock. What are you doing to these guys, Brock? Brock, you hate these guys.
Lad would end the half with 2 rounds in a row though, keeping the score at a competitive 5-7 in NRG's favor. Lad would pick up yet another pistol in the second half, but NRG would begin to pull away from them. And yet another 4K from LeBrock James would essentially put Loud away.
Paranoia, and Brock kept everyone back. They were all trying to follow that util and get the free kill on Som, and Brock held the hordes back.
Let's go, bro.
Ball isn't even there.
Easy first, easy second.
He's going for it.
He's making a show. They're making a good go. And the bullets are raining down. Some good connections. But all it takes is the one from Madder. Wonderful finish there from NRG. A complete turnaround from week 1.
This 2-0 win for NRG was exactly what they needed to stay in a comfortable spot to make playoffs, and with a pop-off performance like that from the Broctagon, it definitely leaves NRG fans hopeful going into next week. The final day of the weekend would be another basement day, and it would open with Cloud9 versus Evil Geniuses. This series would open on Lotus, where unfortunately, EG would be moving away from the Derek Chamber, going back to Tejo. Rest in peace, El Diablo 2.0. On the other side though, Cloud9 would be picking a more standard comp, with Viper, Omen, Neon, Vice, and Fade. But onto the game, EG would open taking the pistol and anti-eco, but Cloud9 would take 2 rounds back to tie the map at 2-2. An insane eco win for EG would net them round 5, but Cloud9 would run away with the rest of the half, going up 8-4. Wait, 2022? I gotta I knew you were good. Alright, 1v2 from Zeppa. This is to find out if this is a god game or not from Zeppa.
Bit of a puzzle to work out, but he's isolated.
Oh yeah, he's dropping 50. He's dropping 50 today, bro.
The way that it starts and the way that it ends has got to be heartbreaking for EG too. That is Icy and Ye both dying in heaven there.
C9 would open the second half taking the pistol, but EG would force up to take the eco, going on to take 3 rounds in a row. C9 would clean up the rest of the map though, taking 4 rounds in a row to close it at 13-7. The second map, Haven, would show us the same comp we saw from C9 last week, with the Viper Omen comp, but on the other side, EG would be picking the old reliable Haven comp with Jet, Breach, Sova, Omen, and Cypher. EG would open this map hot, with a 1v3 from IGL Nature on the pistol. Clean shot. Wait! Oh my gosh! And this would lead them to take a pretty solid 4-round streak. Cloud9's IGL Mitch would take over in round 5 though, picking up a 4K to get C9 their first round.
Doesn't catch Mitch.
Oh my gosh, Mitch, you're sick. Mitch, you're sick! Mitch, you're sick! Oh my gosh! Dude. Oh, and there. EG would still hold their lead this half though, going up 8-4. EG would open the second half with another pistol win, but an eco for Cloud9 would start an insane streak of rounds for them.
Crazy.
Then he upgrades to a Spectre, I suppose.
Upgrade, downgrade.
Yeah,
Breaks his ankles, dude.
Let's go, baby.
Alright, 2v4. Alright, 1v4. Vic, I've seen you do some crazy things, but this might be out of it. I'm not gonna lie. This might be out of your jurisdiction, bro.
But ISO these fights, Vic can't be doing this to them. It's EG's best chance in a long bloody while, but the shots are missing.
Huh? What the? Oh my gosh!
I guess the kill on Superman as well.
Oh my god!
An insane 8-round streak would lead Cloud9 to take the map at 13-10, giving them the series at 2-0 and starting their split at 2-0. Now, onto what you all were waiting for. The final series of the weekend would be MIBR versus LEVIATÁN, 2 teams that needed a bit of redemption after week 1 losses. LEVIATÁN's loss wasn't that bad to be fair, and with their rookies popping off in the series, it left more fans hopeful than disappointed at the loss. On the other side though, MIBR was still in their slump after getting manhandled by Crew in the later parts of their series in week 1. And it was announced early in the week that Verno would be taking over the IGL role for the team, only raising speculation around this roster. But, with that aside, let's take a look at how the series played out. This series would open on Lotus, where MIBR would once again pick this double duelist, with Artson on Yoru and Aspas on Raze, while on the other side, LEVIATÁN would play a very normal comp, but with a strange choice of Killjoy as their sentinel in place of someone like Cypher or Vice. This map would open hot for Lev's rookie Sato, picking up a clean 3K to give his team the pistol.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That Loud was gonna win.
I thought Loud was gonna win too, bro, I'm not gonna lie. And this would give Lev some momentum, with them going on to take a 5-1 lead off the back of some clean shooting from their IGL King.
Swinging off of each other, enough King, solo lurk, and then the awareness that someone would be pushed out of C.
MIBR would pick up 4 rounds in a row to tie the map at 5-5. but Lev would grab the last 2 rounds of the half to take a small 7-5 lead with even more clean shooting from King.
What is Okeanos doing? Throwing.
Oh my gosh, wait, King? What the? What?
Oh, okay, King.
Just full saved their round. The second half would open with MIBR taking the pistol, but LEVIATÁN would pull away. And in round 20, a sick 4K from Sato would lead Lev to take the map at 13-8.
Initial kill. Lev then really bide their time getting back in with the 3 players. In this moment where Oki was towards Baby Door, Sato eventually pushes in at the same time as Tex. When the dark cover cycles back up for Oki, that was really nice.
Getting involved in the comms, leading the charge for MIBR. On the fragging front, though, it's been a quieter map for him. Now has to handle the 3 LEVIATÁN players, and it's not to be.
On the second map, Sunset, we'd once again see this Yoru raise from MIBR, while LEVIATÁN would be playing a double initiator comp with KO, Sova, Vice, Neon, and Omen. So, interesting comps from both sides. This map would open with Lev taking the pistol and anti-eco, and in round 4, we'd see Sato picking up a nice 4K 1v2 to keep the momentum going for his team. Lev would eventually go up 6-1, ending the half at 9-3.
We all to slide.
Oh
my
gosh! Oh my
That's insane.
And in the second half, LEVIATÁN would go on to take a flawless defense half, closing the map at 13-3, giving them the series at 2-0, and giving Lev their first win of the split.
Sato's turned out to step up. Cortez trying to play off the camera. Oh man, just the gun fights not being won out by these MIBR individuals when it really matters. And now Com's going to give it a tap. King will be the one that starts it and ends it. Poetic indeed. LEVIATÁN absolutely blew MIBR to smithereens.
This win would be in huge part due to LEVIATÁN's IGL King popping off, going 44-16 in the series and saving his team in multiple rounds. But let's talk about what you all want to hear. MIBR are now 0-2 in the split, look dead on the server, and the best player of all time is once again putting up his worst stats ever. This loss also leaves MIBR as the only team in Group Omega to be left without a win. And with their upcoming schedule, a playoffs qualification looks to be a tall task, even for the GOAT of the game. And that's it for week 2 of VCT Americas Stage 2, and here are the standings at the end of the week. I streamed all of these matches live on my YouTube and Twitch channels, as well as making short form recaps of these matches every single day. So, if you want to see more of me, or just stay up to date with VCT Americas, be sure to check out my links in the description. Anyways, that's it from me.